A very good morning to all of you. Today we are going to have a discussion class on unit number 3, that is hospital admission and discharge procedure. So let's see what is hospital admission. So first of all, hospital is a place where the sick patient came for the treatment or the investigation or the further diagnostic evaluation. And this first one is like admission to the hospital is like it can be done through OPD also, outpatient department. Suppose the patient those who come for routine checkup or for the first onset of any complaint or any chief complaint, then if they might need further investigation or further observation, then they get admission to the hospital, to the IPD, inpatient department. So it can also be from the emergency department. Suppose those who are under those who need the life support. So in the emergency section, under this, it can be patients with RTA, like road traffic accident, those who need the first aid procedure type, those patients got admitted through from emergency department. So under this admission to the hospital, the first point we have to keep on mind is that as soon as we got the information that the one patient is coming under this department, under this doctor, this and that, so on, so the first things as a nurse we have to do is unit and its preparation, that is admission bed, overall the patient's unit. So here admission. So admission is defined as allowing a patient to stay in hospital for observation or for investigation or treatment and care. Next, there are two types of admission. So first one, I have already mentioned that emergency admission and routine admission. So in the emergency admission, patients I have already mentioned you that RTA, poisoning, burns, cardiac or respiratory emergency, patients those who need basic life support, those who are admitted under emergency department. So and next is routine admission. In this, patients are admitted for investigation, diagnostic purpose, medical or surgical treatment, or treatment is given according to patient problem. Examples: patients with hypertension, diabetes mellitus, etc. So here in this routine examination, admission is basically done from the OPD. Suppose the patients those who are having hypertension or diabetes, they are not that much emergency, but they need further investigation and treatment, so they can be kept for some hours or 1 day or 2 days for their further investigation. But in emergency admission, patients those who need emergency support. So under unit and its preparation, in unit, it is a place where the patient is kept during hospital stay. The admitting department notifies the unit prior to the patient's arrival so that the room bed can be prepared. So I have already told you that unit and its preparation is preparing the ward or the cabin for the patient. Suppose seeing of the all the articles, all the equipment for patient's care, it is available or not, like proper ventilation, proper lighting, on the proper bed making has been done for the patients or not, and maintaining of the treatment chart and the locker of the patient. All those things we have to be very clear before admitting the patients to the ward. So in under units and its preparation, prepare the treatment table, ensure all the equipments are completed, check ventilations, ensure patient's privacy. So privacy is also a main important point while giving care to the patient. So here some of the special considerations are: admission costs under stress, emotional factors, as well as financial capability must given utmost importance. So here some patients, like those who are unaware of the disease, and those who are elderly patients, not only the patient, even the family member also, they got anxiety, stress about the health related issue. So in that condition, you have to assure the patient as well as the patient's party about the disease and its undergoing treatment, how the patient will improve, which treatment are going to give to the patients, so and so you have to explain to the patient, and also to to give information regarding the treatment course and all everything. So sometimes what happen is that in the private hospital, some patients they came in emergency, but after admission they are like they used to face the financial problem, so they cannot afford the treatment cost. So all those things you have to keep in mind, and you have to explain. Be observant, consider individual patient's need. Provide an individual admission procedure so may efficiency and concern. So with this admission, first is admission, you have to assure the patients, you have to explain everything, the rules regulations of the hospital, the treatment chart, and everything you have to introduce to the patient, like communication to the patient nurse patient relationship. So now admission procedure, how it does from the admission procedure is met and receive the patient. So after everything done, unit and its all preparation has been done, when the patient shift to the cabin, then you have to meet and receive the patient. Verify the patient's data by checking record sheet, chart, introduce immediate personal response. So here like after meeting the patient, like you have to build a relationship with the patient, you have to communicate with the patient, interpersonal relationship with the patient, so that the patient will not hesitate or will not feel any uneasy towards you while expressing the history, because without taking the proper history, we are not able to give a proper care, or we cannot diagnose the actual disease. So first of all, to develop a relationship with the patient is the most important part. And after that, after communication, after getting the information, then you have to verify the record sheet, means like from both the patient, from the patient as well as from the record sheet, whatever it came from the emergency department or the reception department, all those things. So getting information both from the patient and from the patient's record sheet, and you have to evaluate what are the actual problem of the patient. Then introduce immediate personnel, assess patient to the treatment area, ask the patient to change clothes into hospital gown. So from the receive area, you have to assist the patient till the patient's bed, and then everything you have to orientate to the patient, as well as ask the patient to change the hospital gown, hospital dress, because patients are not allowed to wear their own dresses. Perform examination and evaluation procedure. After receiving the patients, after getting all the information, after letting the patients to sit or sleep in the bed, and then making the dress changes, you have to perform the examination and evaluation procedure. Establish baseline values like vital signs, do history taking, physical examination. So I told you that communication is a very important part with the patients and the nurse. So after all those things, you have to check the vitals, that is TPR, temperature, pulse, respiration, and blood pressure, and also sugar level of the patients. Then according to that findings, if anything like anything deterioration from the normal, then you can take the history accordingly. Suppose if the patient's BP is high, then you can go on further clear history taking regarding the hypertension, regarding the knowledge, whether the patient have knowledge about the blood pressure or not. If it is diabetes, high sugar, then you can just ask the patient that she or he have any diabetic problem, any increase in sugar level before the admissions to the hospital or not. And then So in the after checking the blood sugar level, you can know that whether the patients have any idea about this diabetes or not, whether she is taking any diabetic medications or not. All those things you can rule out. And also you have to perform physical examination. Any deformities you can rule out, and any other pain and all also you can rule out by doing the physical examination. And next, coordinate with the physicians and carry out initial order. Give the treatment and instruction as needed. So after all those things findings, you can you have to give a report to the physician. Although physician also will check the patient's health status, and with that you can coordinate with the physician that my patient is so and so is having this problem, so we can go for the suppose if the patient is having high blood pressure, then we can carry out for the hypertensive drugs or whatever nursing care required for the hypertensive patients we can perform. Next, orientations to the patients and others. So I have already mentioned that you have to orient the patients, everything, the system, the rules and regulations of the hospital, the visitor timings, treatment schedules, hospital policies, regulations, then how to use the systematic phone calls, or how to operate the AC and all, everything you have to teach the patient. And roles and responsibility of a nurse in admission procedure. So let's see what are the responsibilities we have while admitting the patients into the ward or the cabin or etc. Nurse should deal every effort to be friendly and courteous with the patients and family members. You have to build a rapport with the patients, nurse-patient relationship, as well as with the family members also. Sometimes patients may be very silent and very rude kind of behavior. That time you may need the family members. So with the family members also we have to be very friendly type. Make proper observations of patient's condition. So proper observation. So here it comes the physical examination, physical assessment of the patient, as well as you have, suppose if the patient is having diabetes, then 2-hourly monitoring of blood glucose level. And also if the patient is hypertension, then 2-hourly checking of the vitals, the BP and all. Orient patients and relatives regarding hospital policies. Deal with patients carefully who is suffering from communicable diseases or illness, or isolate if necessary. So here before admitting, before putting the patients to the ward or the cabin or the bed, you have to check. While checking the patients, you have to see these communicable diseases, because if you are not aware of these things, then it also a source of transferring the disease from one person to another. This is mainly from the patients to the nurse and the healthcare personnels who are handling with the patient. So there are in most of the hospital there is the rules, there is a protocols of checking the VDRL test. This is mainly HIV and hepatitis, HBs, SG and HCV. So to rule out any barrier nursing is required or not. If it is there, then in the patient seat you have to mark as the, suppose if the patient is hepatitis or HIV positive, then with the red pen, with the red mark, you have to mention in the front of the patient's ticket barrier nursing, or as side you can write HIV positive. Then while giving handover, it is easy for the other healthcare personnel to notify whether the patients need barrier nursing or any other isolation nursing. Suppose in tuberculosis patient, wearing of PPE also it's important. And now the most important health emergencies is the corona. So in now the protocols is every patient should undergo for corona COVID test before doing any other diagnostic procedure or the treatment, so that necessary care can be taken. If it is necessary, if the patient is positive with the corona, then we have to isolate the patient. So all those things you have to keep in mind. And Patient's valuables and clothes should be handed over to the relatives with proper recording. So sometimes patients come with the like full-on jewelry or this and that. So all the valuable things, whatever it is whether it can be costly or it can be like whatever it is with the patients, you have to hand over to the patient's attendant and with the proper recording. See, recording, documentation and reporting it's also a very important vitals of the patient, and we assume that care given and not recorded is care not given. So anything you do for the patient, it should be recorded in your nurse's record sheet with the time and that everything. Even the doctor has advised something, this and that, you have to record. Even if you have checked the vitals of the patient, you have to record it. And here also, if you hand over anything to the patient's relative, then you have to take the consent. You have to get the signature from the as well as from the patient's party also. Suppose you have mentioned that 10 a.m. the patient's clothings and earrings or any other things handed over to the attendants, then attendant will give the signature, name, everything. Then now those are the admission procedure part. Now come with the discharge procedure. So here the patients, the family, medical staff, nursing staff, social worker, dietitian all work together to coordinate the discharge procedure. So I have already told you, not only the nurses, the healthcare personnel. Most of the hospitals is run from the nurses. Without a nurse, no one can perform the tasks. Nurses are 7/24 working. So with the nurses, it is also important role for the dietitian, for other healthcare team member to take care of the patient. The doctor plans the discharge with the patients and leaves a written order on the patient's charge. The patients may have concern regarding managing own care at home. Provisions as at home care, home health care may be needed as ordered. Assessment needs to be done as to what the help the patients will need at home. Discharge planning involves entire healthcare team. So here, suppose the patient's condition has improved and the patient's party wants to go home, but it's not like that they are getting improved and you can just directly send them home. Getting discharge of the patient, it also require for the entire team, like we have to discuss about the patient's condition. Oh, this patient is so and so and is improving and the vitals this and that is continuously coming down to the normal, so like we can send them to home for the further, like any other care needed, then they can take care at home. But that also you have to priorly ask that whether they can perform the remaining care to the home or not. And the discharge should be in a written format. It should not be verbally. The doctor has to write in the doctor's sheet that please discharge the patient this and that. Then only you have to carry out the discharge procedure. Discharge procedures cannot be in the forms of verbal. Discharge planning preparation. Discharge preparation. Nurse is responsible for ensuring the patients to be discharged. So after written information, then you can inform the patient's party or the patients that they so and so you are going to get discharged by today or tomorrow. Discharge from the hospital should never from unexpectedly to the patient and his family member. Discharge timing cannot be decided by the patient's party or the patients. Any discharge instruction reviewed with the patients must also be put in a written from the patients to take home. They need to be specified written in terms the patient can understand, true and legible. Make sure family members are notified of pending discharge for transportation. So suppose if the patient they wanted to go for discharge by their own, then everything should be in the written format. The reason, everything they have to mention. And if the discharge is done from the doctor's side also, everything you have to notify to the patient as well as the written consent you have to take from the patient's party or the patients. Special physical consideration. Physical intervention for the patients with impaired activity include direct physical related to the patient's problems, for example, rehabilitations of the patient. So, before discharging the patient, you have to see certain criteria, whether the patients can perform daily activity care or not, or whether the patients need any rehabilitation for the further care, like those patients whose like activity is impaired and they need for physiotherapies, then it can be done at home level also. So all the provisions you have to ask to the patients as well as to the family members whether they can afford the home care therapies or the rehabilitations for the patients and family teaching. So like suppose, let's take example for diabetes patient. So not only the patient, you have to teach the family members also the timing of the food, from the dietitian order, when to take the medicine, when to take the meal, or what foods to be taken and what foods to be avoided. So all those things you have to educate the patients as well as the family member. And nurses will have responsible for major roles in patients teaching. So like this is usually done by the nurse only. So teaching all the like treatment chart, what medications has to be taken at home and other extra care. So documentations of discharge, chart the date and time of discharge, how patients left the facility, any special instructions given to the patients, make annotations that the patient's personal belongings were sent with them. So documentation, I have already told you. So everything, date, time, everything, even a minute or the second, you have to chart everything. And before getting the discharge of the patient, you have to check whether the patient has used the hospital property in a proper way or not. If any damages is there, then they have to payable for that. This is the protocols of every hospital. And like during the discharge procedure, discharge timing, you have to send all the belongings of the patient which came through during the admissions, and then you have to take the consent. This is I have already mentioned in the earlier topic. So here, discharge procedure. No patient should be discharged without a doctor's or written doctor's orders, instruction regarding further care, medications, treatment, follow-up, etc. Before the patient leaves the hospital, the nurse should confirm whether he has paid the bill, patients and family teachings regarding medications, diet and self-care, and handing over the patient. So here I have already mentioned that everything, all the things which is related to the patients, everything you have to hand over to the patients and make a documentations of the patients. And here, nursing responsibility. Proper medications, diet is directed by the dietitian, regular exercise if needed, any instruction by the therapist, follow-up requirements, any checkup need to be come to the hospital, then everything you have to notify to the patients. So here are the types of discharge, under which category, under which the patients can go for the discharge. The first one is the planned discharge. So discharge done by the advice of the doctor when the patient's status improves and can be continued at home care basis. So it's basically from the healthcare team members. We will discuss the things and then we will let the patients to go discharge if they can further give the treatment at home. Transfer. Patients may be transferred from one room to another for several reasons. Suppose if the hospital is not having further treatment facilities or any other lacking of infrastructure or any other things, then we transfer the patients in a high level hospital where the treatment or any other is available. That is also comes under discharge, the transfer. Lama, this is leave against medical advice due to any personal reasons of the patient. Lama, it can be Dama also, discharge against medical advice. This is like in case of financial problem also, patients they might to go for discharge or any other related issue, like if the patient's condition is not improving. But being as a healthcare professional, we cannot leave any patients just without seeing at the like percentage of like improving or not. As a healthcare personnel, we have to give the care till the last breath of the patient. So in that condition, they might want to go for discharge, but all those things will come under Lama, leave against medical advice, or discharge against medical advice. Absconded, patient went out of the hospital without doctors or other staff knowledge, or patient may abscond or leave the hospital without any prior information. So in the last this procedure of the discharge, checking of the bill payments. So basically some, even I have experience in my time where they do is that before the clearance of the bill, they used to run out from the hospital. So all those things come under absconded. Or if the patient is having some kind of psychiatric problem, then patients will try to run out from the hospital. So these are the types of discharge.